let's take a look at the dollar yen for the upcoming September 3rd session. And we're going to take a look at from what we talked about yesterday. We were possibly looking at it for it to come back and retest these lows here on a daily basis. You can see this daily chart, and it has continued to work its way down to that low. And if we go ahead and just take a quick look at the 4-hour chart, you can see it's just been a slow grinding motion to the downside. And the MACD is just confirming to us that we're still in a pretty good size downtrend here because it's below the waterline. Let's go down to the 1-hour chart and see if we see anything that could be possibly setting up for us for the Asian and European session. Now, one thing that really begins to stand out on this chart is we do have some MACD divergence developing. You can see that price has come down lower from this low here. You see this price with this low point right here, the swing low developing, the swing low area. The MACD was down very deep here, not quite as deep here. So the indicator is rising in the opposite direction of price. And with that, we're looking at a possibility of price coming back up. So let's go ahead and take a look at one more thing, and that would be the 30-minute chart to see if we see any kind of MACD divergence on that. And as we take a look at the 30-minute chart here, we do not see any MACD divergence coming on this chart. What we see is just some bottoming perhaps process going down here. So we're going to watch for the upcoming session. Let's go back to that 1-hour chart where it's a little bit clearer. As we said yesterday, we had a nice trend line here. We were looking for a 30-minute close above that. It did go up only maybe 20 pips or so. As we said, it was a real tight market. You should have been funding in that 15 to 20 pip range. Also, it did, once it closed below this line, as we talked about in the 30-minute chart, it did pay quite a bit. It paid about 50, 55 pips in there. So for the upcoming session, we're going to take a look at a couple things. What we're going to do is extend this low here, the lows from the previous couple days, and we're going to kill this trend line. Whoops, we'll have to put that line right back in. We're going to look at these lows that we closed below yesterday. So we're going to look for a couple things in the upcoming Asian and London, New York sessions, the next upcoming 3 sessions. We're going to see if price actually maybe spikes down to that low. Remember on the daily chart, retest these lows. It's still a little ways away. It's about 60 or so pips away. But it's not unreasonable to see and think that the dollar yen could just slip through and spike that. So we're going to watch for that. We're going to be on guard for that. But the real trade setups we want to go for are a close above a trend line. And the first trade setup we're going to look for is a close above this trend line right here on the 30-minute. Right? We're going to keep an eye on that trend line right here. And the second thing, the reason we're going to keep an eye on for that is because of this MACD divergence we see, a close on the 30-minute, it could keep running up. We're going to want to take some money off the table when we reach this level here. And then we're going to see if it's going to continue to run all the way up. If price gets up to this level and holds, then we're going to go ahead and draw some trend line out in the future that would have been created on the rise to price there, whatever it is. And on a 30-minute close below that, we're going to get into that particular trade. So there's only 2 setups that we're looking for tonight. One is based on the MACD divergence we see here on the 1-hour chart, and we're expecting price to rise, take profit up in here, and see if it's going to continue on up. Now we know the price usually retests support, previous support is resistance. So we're expecting that if it does happen to hold up in this area, and it does develop a nice trend line in the future, that when it closes on the 30-minute trend line below that trend line, we're going to enter a trade, a sell, and we're going to take some profit off down here near these lows and see if it continues on down. So we have one buy set up over this trend line, and we have a sell set up if it crosses down here in the future. Not interested in taking it short if it closes below these lows because it could be a very quick spike down to that double bottom that we saw on the daily chart. And that's going to be a wrap for the dollar yen for the upcoming September 3rd session.